maybe I do spend a lot of my time alone, I still want to look good for me. Like, I don't know. Once you stop acting like the outcome is actually in your control, life just gets easier. Cast your cares on the one who does have control. Also knowing that if something was to leave, if something was to go, you would be okay. Sometimes you just need to relax. Just let yourself relax, breathe, exist, and to know that that's enough. Hello, beautiful. Welcome back. I have a hair appointment in 2 days, and so I need to take out my braids. Usually I'll like watch a show or maybe be on the phone with a friend, but I was like, why not just come on here and chat with my people, chat with y'all. And so that's what we're gonna be doing. Today is also Vlogmas day 10. Can you believe that? Like, that is just so crazy to me how fast the time flew. But yeah, I was like, let's just come on here and talk about life, talk about growth, and all the things that we talk about on this page, on this side of YouTube. When thinking over my hair and like my hair growth journey, it is insane. I kind of taught myself how to braid, do my natural hair when I was in like middle school, high school, and wore it that way. I did like, you know, when like you had that puff with like the string, I did that a lot. I did like head wraps. I was doing just everything. It was very much giving culture. I specifically remember like when I was in high school and I went to a school that had like a handful of black girls like across grades, and we kind of all encouraged each other to wear natural hair, which was really sweet, really exciting to see. And then when I finished high school, COVID happened, getting ready to go to college, I remember I started to like have that thought of cutting my hair. And I actually, this is so funny, I actually was talking to my dad about it, and he was like, you should just do it. And I don't know why he was that supportive of it. But he was like, yeah, you should just do it. You should just cut your hair. Literally one day he just cut my hair and we cut my hair off, and I fell in love. I loved it. And I think it was especially important for me because growing up I was so insecure. Like, I did not think I was cute, did not think I was pretty. I looked crazy, okay, for a long time, to be fair. But I didn't think I was pretty, I didn't think I was cute, and having my hair short forced me to look at my face and accept my face and my round head and all of that stuff. Like, it really just forces you to embrace who you are, how you are, and just what you look like. I was also going through just so much emotionally at that time, so much internally at that time, and I think by the time I got to the point where I was ready to grow my hair back out, I was just in such a better place. And now looking back, like retrospectively, I think that what really kind of was like the marking point on that journey was more confidence in myself. Having my hair short helped me to do that and forced me to do that. People always say when a girl dyes her hair red, that's when you know she's going through something. And yeah, I can verify that that is true. I think things like anxiety, people pleasing, all of those worries were things that I really did struggle with for a while. And I think a lot of the things that I dealt with were rooted in anxiety. Like, when you worry, everything can become a problem. When you cut that hair off, it kind of forces you to just not care. Like, it kind of gives you a little bit of a, well, it doesn't matter because I can just cut it off, or it doesn't matter, I can just grow it back. And I think that in some ways, developing that mindset and now having that about multiple areas of my life has been so helpful just to living a life that has a little bit more ease, a little bit more rest, and allowing myself to actually just be myself, show up as myself, and freely let people in and out of my life. I think when I was anxious, when I was worried, there was so much more emotional labor about the attempt of trying to keep friends, trying to make friends, trying to keep relationships. Whereas when you realize that just like your hair, things come and go, things will grow back, things will change, and that's okay, it just adds such a sense of ease. And also, like I was saying, allows you to be yourself. There are different stages that we all grow through in life, and there are different stages that we have to grow through. And I think that when you're navigating the world, a lot of us spend our childhoods learning and developing different patterns that we perceive will help us navigate the world easily, whether that's people pleasing, whether that is like being extremely worried about things, whether that is being an overthinker. We develop all of these habits. And I think that a key part of maturing and growing that we don't talk about enough is the ability to start letting those habits go. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not sensitive to anything or that nothing impacts you. Like if something bad happens, I'm gonna feel it. There are things in life that aren't as simple. If a friend and I get into a huge argument, I may be worried about losing my friend. Like there are things in life that aren't as simple and that wouldn't be appropriate to be as carefree about as like cutting your hair off. But I can still now go into those situations and walk into those situations, one, reflecting and being like, okay, is this actually good for me? Am I acting in a way that's actually helpful? Am I acting in a way that's productive? Because even when I cut my hair off, I was still taking care of it. I was still moisturizing it, washing it, all of the things to take care of my hair. And so even though we're open to things coming and going, we still have to make sure we're taking care of what we have. So reflecting and being able to be like, am I the wrong one in this situation? All of those things. But then also knowing that if something was to leave, if something was to go, you would be okay. And that is just such an important part of growing, and having that mindset has literally transformed my experience just with the people around me, but also with my mental health, my stress levels, my anxiety, my worry. I'm reminded of 1 Peter 5:7, how it says to cast all your cares on God because he cares for you. And I think sometimes you can try to overcomplicate that, thinking you have to go into like a deep prayer session and just think really hard about casting your cares and like, Lord, I want to cast my care. And like, yes, but also sometimes it's just about putting things in their rightful spot. Like, we all know that we can't control really a thing that happens in our lives. Like if you think about it very, very deeply, like you can work very hard, you can do all these things, but you just never know what's going to happen the next second. You never know. God is the only one who knows. And so really, I think the foundation of that is just stop acting like you actually have control over reality. Like we have to plant the seeds, we have to do the work, we have to put things into action, but once you stop acting like the outcome is actually in your control, life just gets easier. Cast your cares on the one who does have control. Spoiler alert, it is not you. And that just makes it so much easier to deal with the difficulties of life, like the stresses of life. And you know, if cutting my hair off was the way that I needed to learn that, I'm glad that I did. But it's definitely funny now, like looking back and seeing all the things that that girl was going through. And just to like touch on and highlight a few ways that this has changed me and a few ways that I've seen it change me, I think the first is just confidence. I became very, very attuned to feeling like I needed to have like a perfectly curated version of myself to present to people. And honestly, that's annoying. It's so much labor for me, and it's like frustrating for people around me because you like can't really, it's like, do you even know me? Like how much can you really understand me? And all of these things, it just makes it so much more difficult than it needs to be. And a part of why that was because of having that feeling that I was really strongly attributing to like the success of relationships and things, when honestly all of that is out of my control. But because I felt it was in my control, I tried controlling it through the way I presented myself. Don't do that. And so now, no longer having that mindset, I am able to be in such a better place of just being myself. If I feel a certain way and I feel comfortable sharing, you're gonna know that. If I think something's funny, you're gonna know that. And this feels so basic, like saying it out loud. Like I think this is something that hopefully would be developed in childhood if you were raised to be confident and to love yourself and all that stuff. But I learned it now and that's okay. That was my journey and that's okay. I'm learning it now. But it's just so important to be able to be yourself. Another thing is just learning really what it means to take care of myself. I used to be obsessed with the gym. Obsessed as in like gym was therapy, waking up super early in the morning, going, doing an intense workout, tracking. I was a creatine girly, tracking like how much weight I was pulling every day, like all of that. Like I was into it. And recently I haven't been going to the gym. I've been running, I've been doing at-home stretches, I've been doing what works for me. And when I was going all the time, that was almost part of like my identity, part of my confidence in a way. Look, we already done a lot of it. And so now being at a place where it's really not part of my identity, it's not a source of my confidence, has been so freeing. I mean, our society nowadays is crazy, y'all, with like TikTok. Oh my gosh, this looks insane. My hair looks crazy. And as someone posting, I try to be aware of that and inspire people, but in a way that's not making anybody insecure. Once I stopped finding that confidence in going to the gym and everything, like it was honestly so freeing, because there's just so much pressure around having the perfect body, the perfect proportions, looking a certain way, always being slim and everything. And like, it's a lot of pressure. And if you're not at that certain level, you're not desirable, you won't get somebody who's actually good for, like, just, I don't know, all these things. And most of it just lives in our head. It's not even representative of reality, but that's a whole different conversation. But it had been so freeing for me just to take more time, to just take it slow, to take my health and my relationship with my body one day at a time, one meal at a time, to allow myself to have a little, like I was saying, a little more ease and just flow in the way that I take care of myself, because life is already stressful. There are things that I was prioritizing that were very stressful, like getting a job, being consistent on here, all of those things. And so kind of allowing myself to just breathe and be like, okay, at my resting state, this is how I am, and I love her. I mean, it's so good to like be super intentional about what you eat, to have your health on 10. Like, health is wealth at the end of the day. We can't act like it isn't, but it can be so dangerous at the same time to only be happy with yourself when you're at that peak point. Like, it has been so helpful and so healing for me to just live in a little more ease and to let myself be, just let myself exist, you know what I mean? And like in a good way, not in a way where it's like, oh, I'm eating out every day or I'm eating bad for myself. Like, no, like letting myself go through picking foods that are good for me, working out, stretching when I can, as I feel. And in the new year, I'm excited to turn it up a notch and get back into some goals, especially having some trips coming up. I need the abs to come back in, and being open to letting things come and go. Also just being open and receptive and loving how you are on a normal day to day without a crazy, insane 4 a.m. morning routine. Who are you? And that's important to know. Also with this, you get the amazing gift of learning to enjoy your own company. Now, I'm still working on going outside and doing things by myself, like solo dates. I love solo trips, which is hilarious because that I love doing. It's so fun, but going out in my own city can be like nerve-wracking for some reason. I don't know, but I do know that regardless, that I love my own space. I love coming home and putting on nice music. I love taking a nice warm shower at night. I love watching funny videos and laughing. I love making myself food to eat. I love just all of that stuff. I love my own space and the environment that I create. The atmosphere that I have here in my space is great, and I just love it so much. And I've just really learned to enjoy my own company. And when you do that, that doesn't mean that you're never going to be lonely. It doesn't mean that you're never going to wish you had a person around you. I do sometimes. That's completely normal, natural, and I think it would be weird to not feel that way. But it does mean that you're not desperate for the presence of people in your life. It allows you to be a little bit more picky. It allows you to be able to say, okay, if this is the atmosphere that I have created, how am I willing to let other people impact that? At the end of the day, each person has their own kind of like atmosphere that they bring into a space, and we've all experienced that. And so you have to be able to discern like who you allow into your life. And without that foundational comfortability in being by yourself, you are gonna let anything slide. And that's the worst position you can honestly be in. And the reality is, right, no one is always gonna have a good atmosphere. When I'm having a really bad day or I'm in a really bad mood and I'm just not having a good week, my atmosphere could be terrible. I can be so passive aggressive and annoying and rude. And in a time like that, you know, that's just what it is. And you have to be understanding of the fact that the people around you in your life who maybe you have let in really close because you realize they also have and live in a great atmosphere, they're gonna have those days too, those months too, maybe even those years. And so it's not just about blocking out everybody who's in a bad mood. Like, that's not how it works. But I think it's about allowing yourself to be selective and realize the overall consistent atmosphere that someone strives to create. For example, and I'm gonna use past me as an example, if something bad was to happen like in my day, it could ruin my whole day. Like, I remember when I had an internship and there was this guy, granted I was like the only black girl, only black person, period, and this guy banged at the door very rudely for me to come open it, and even when I didn't even address me, and that just pissed me off, guys. Like, it pissed me off, and I was so mad the whole day. I think I talked about it for like the next 3 days. I was just so annoyed, and it completely impacted my personal atmosphere. This stranger that I don't even know, his personal issues with respecting people and his inability to give other people respect, probably mirroring a lack of deep respect that he has for himself. That action completely threw off me. I could have been enjoying my life and this stranger ruined my vibe for like 3 days. That's unbelievable. And as someone who used to do that, I now see the importance of surrounding yourself with people who do not do that, with people who are able to stand their ground and push for positivity. My mom always told me this, and it took me forever to understand it and to really believe it, but you always have to learn to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. And thermostats work through programming. And when you spend time on your own, you learn what your program setting should be. You learn what atmosphere feels comfortable for you. You learn how to set that thermostat. God gives us great guidelines to what this should really foundationally look like, but each of us are different, so everybody's gonna have a little bit of a different setting, you know what I mean? I'm more of a 72, 73 girly. Some people like a 69, 65, and that's cool for them, but that's not gonna work for me. You have to allow yourself the space and the time to learn how to be by yourself so you actually know what atmospheres you like. And I don't know why, like, it took me so long to really notice and realize the importance of this. And now that I have, it's so great watching myself be a little bit more hesitant to just let everybody all the way into my life, and watching myself be able to even encourage my friends and remind them of, hey, I know that this is your default setting. I know this is how you enjoy being. Don't let people come in and throw that off. You know, being able to encourage other people to do the same. As you're growing in confidence, make sure you're spending time alone so you can learn what your level is, because the reality is when you're in a room with other people, everyone's kind of working together, socializing off of each other to find like a happy medium for this space. And if you're always doing that, you're never gonna learn what your actual like level, quote unquote, is. And so you actually do need to spend that time on your own to learn that about yourself. It's such like a long yap. But the last thing that I will talk about on this journey of just bringing ease into your life, your mental health, all of that, is that it really encourages you to just take care of yourself. Like, the way self-care comes so naturally is insane, and that looks different for different people. I love watching the vlogs of the girls who go get their fancy cryotherapy, they go get their facials, their Russian manicure. I love it for them. I'm not there yet, maybe one day, but the pockets have to expand first. But that doesn't mean that I can't take care of myself. That doesn't mean I can't do my cluster lashes. That doesn't mean I can't do my little manicure. I literally did this in 20 minutes earlier today with all Amazon products. Like, There's no excuse. There are ways to take care of yourself and just to upkeep yourself, and you will find that even though, yeah, maybe I do spend a lot of my time alone, I still want to look good for me. Like, I don't know. It's just something that changes, like a flip that switches, and you just, I like feeling good. I like feeling upkept. I like feeling clean. I like smelling good, like all of those things. And you will just find that you naturally do that more often when you are taking care of yourself mentally and internally first. It stops becoming a luxury and a special thing to do, and it starts becoming the standard. And that can look different for different people. For me, it looks like consistently doing my nighttime routines, which you guys have seen. It looks like upkeeping my skincare, drinking water, having my multivitamins, drinking my supplements, keeping up to date on my health. Like I said, manicures, pedicures, even if I'm doing them at home, whether it's cluster lashes, my natural lashes, making sure I'm cleaning my makeup brushes or updating my makeup products, making sure my hair is refreshed and done. If you don't have funds to go get your hair done, learning how to do your own hair. Like these braids I've did myself, and I've been redoing them for like the last few months. Gonna go get my hair done because I need it done. I need a refresh. But yeah, like all these things that I think are just so important, and nobody is taking care of you. And especially when you're done school, you're done college, your friends may not even be around to remind you to take care of yourself. And so it's really up to you to set that standard. But yeah, it's really up to you just to take care of yourself, to set routines, all those things. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my hair out, but I will come back to show you all the end results of taking out these braids. 6 braids to go. Oh my gosh. But yeah, y'all, I feel like the advice that I gave, a lot of it really does just come back to the journey that we're all on together, growing as women, to that femininity, the ability to just live with ease. And I think boundaries help you live with ease, like knowing what you'll accept, knowing what you won't accept, knowing that you're confident in your own space. All of that is going to help you live your life with ease and just embrace the day to day. Take life one step at a time. Sometimes you just need to relax. Just let yourself relax, breathe, exist, and to know that that's enough. Whew. But yeah, y'all, this is my hair. I love it. I'm gonna miss the brown at the ends, honestly. It is so cute, but it'll be worth it. Maybe I'll bring it back. We'll see. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. I don't even remember everything I talked about, but just be encouraged to learn to enjoy your own space, learn to take life with ease, to cast all your cares on the only one who's actually in control. That's God, not you. And to give yourself grace as you're learning, growing as a woman on your femininity journey, all of the things. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 11, where we will be getting my hair done. I'm so excited. I'm gonna look so cute, y'all. Okay. All right. Well, I will see you then. Bye. Okay, wait, I'm actually realizing this might be a bad idea because when I edit, I reduce the sound so the audio is clearer, and so I'm gonna pause the music. I'm actually just gonna start the whole video over. So let's just do that.